Hey, sorry for the slight glitch, everyone. We're going to go ahead and continue to the next question. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, so I guess the question I have is if someone isn't good at every single aspect of the game, the marketing, the social media, the music production, all the networking stuff, is it pretty much absolutely hopeless for them that they're not going to
But
be
what do
good?
you mean by like not good? Like they just like, yeah, to be a bit more specific, like they refuse to learn it. They just, what does not good mean in
Well,
this
let's just
regard?
say like they there's a lot of different levels. I'm sure like there's probably the ones that don't want to learn it, and so it's just they're just not even trying. And there's probably those who try, but they're not very successful. Like they try everything they can, but they're only getting maybe like one or two follows or one or two likes here and there. And there's people who try really hard, and they for some reason it's just not landing anywhere.
Look, I think for those that are really, really, really trying and not landing anywhere, I think, we have to look at their approach, right? I mean, yeah, I'm sending out 100 DMs, but is your DM like, hey, check out my track? Next, hey, check out my track, right? I mean, it always comes down to that. Then I would audit like, what is your approach and what is your frequency? Let me look at how you're even sending these things out, right? And to go back to your thing of like, well, I'm only getting 2 followers, 2, 3 likes. Well, that's 2 new followers that you have. Like, come up with a strategy to engage with them, right? Do you have a DM strategy to give them value to your followers? These are things that, I think when people think like, yeah, I want lots of followers and lots of fans, and you're thinking thousands and thousands, even millions, but how do you get there? You're growing one fan base at a time. So don't ever, I guess, dismiss that there's only 2 or 3 new followers, because that essentially is, new people following your account and listening to your music. And, it goes down to this. You have to make the time to learn it, truly, truly learn it, and give it time, just like how you've given time in getting better in writing music, right? That same mentality that you just went through in phase 1, that rigorous journey of learning what this little knob of a plugin does. It's the same thing of like understanding how this piece of content or how you create this content, the placements of it. I wish I had a better answer, but I mean, ultimately it really is that it's making the time to really learn it and then applying it. And then it's going out and asking for help too, as well. Like if it really came down to it, don't just do this by yourself. Get feedback as well, which is why we exist, which is why ArtistMap exists. It's why Faculty of Electronic Music exists. Don't do it alone. And, there's no such thing as one right answer, right? Because you can't just say, well, do this and it's going to work for everyone. You have to shoot your shots, but you have to make sure that you're learning and understanding truly how to market yourself and position yourself as an artist.
So success isn't really necessarily being quote unquote good at every single aspect, but at least trying and being knowledgeable and not stopping is like the key to success as an artist.
Yeah, I think that's the high level of it. Now, if you want to talk about like what does success look like in this process, yeah, it's trying, and then in the midst of trying, don't kill your mind, right? I suck. I don't deserve this. All of that. That is essentially it. I mean, try, but don't beat yourself up, because essentially, dude, that's where like the whole mindset thing really comes into play, man. I mean, Gino, do you want to chime in a little bit on this? I mean,
Uh,
I feel like
well,
yeah.
I have a couple ideas. I understand the difficulty of learning marketing because it's so much easier to learn something you're passionate about. So the majority of people making music are passionate about making music. So like I'm a very stubborn person. I can only learn what I'm passionate about. I wasn't the greatest in school. Like, I got by, but like I didn't care about the subject. So I was like, I kind of forced myself. And I feel that way. I feel that way myself with marketing even. I know how important it is, but because it's not my passion, if I'm like I'm reading about it or watching tutorials, I'm just like I'd rather be watching tutorials and making music. So I understand that aspect of how tough it is. And when it comes to whether or not you're evaluating yourself on I had 1 follower now or 2 followers the other day. I think it's also really important to measure your success not day by day, just like the gym. You got to look at it week by week, month by month, year by year. And of course, if it's not working, go back and see what are you not offering. I was reading Gary Vee's book, Crushing It, and it says in the book, why do they want to come back to your Instagram? Why do they want to follow you? Why? What are you giving them that says this is value to my life? Why should I come back? And I think that might be the core question to ask yourself in order to make your marketing better is, why are they going to come back to you? Why do they care?
And like, I like to add to this, I think it's super important for artists to realize that this is essentially their entire journey, right? Mm-hmm. Look at what we're doing now. Do I love everything about building 6am? Fuck no. But do I love the entirety of building 6am? Yes, right? Mm-hmm. You have to look at being an artist. Like, of course, what you're naturally passionate about is going to come natural to you. But in this entire artist journey, you're going to have to deal with things that you don't want to do that encompasses it. It's like being a physical therapist. You don't just only go through the courses that you like. You have to go through biology, to chemistry, all of that. BS course, right? Course that doesn't really directly relate to physical therapy, but it's part of that journey. I know I'm not really giving it like the best context or example, but I mean, it's understanding that there are always going to be things you don't want to do, even though it's what you love doing, right? And understanding that if you don't do it, then your competition, those that understand that it's a pairing, it's creating the product, which is your music, and then getting your product heard, which is the marketing. I mean, right? In ArtistMap, I talk about you should think like a business person. That really is the analogy. Right? Most artists don't like to think themselves as that. No, well, you're the product and the service.
You are a business.
You are. Yeah.
You're selling your music.
Most artists don't like to think of themselves like that. But if you really, understand that it comes down to products and service, which is your music and your performance.
Yeah.
And marketing. How do you get your word out? I mean, it's that no one's going to do that for you. And if you're just sitting at home, like no one's supporting me, no one's tagging me, my friends aren't promoting my stuff, then tough luck. That's another thing I also say is don't depend on your friends. I'm not saying they won't be there for you. I have very supportive friends and I love them to death and they really are supportive, but I'm just saying it's nice. You're going to get that crossover, and trust me, it's very nice when you get that crossover where you don't need your friends to help do the push anymore, where you have your fan base. And at the end of the day, if you want longevity, you're going to just be patient and wait for the fans. Yeah. It's like being a restaurant owner. Like a restaurant owner doesn't count on their friends to make money, right? They count on their regular customers. So see yourself as a restaurant, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. Next.
We're talking about mindset as an artist, mindset that we should have for promotion. Since this is an all-encompassing industry, all-encompassing like endeavor, what would be the key characteristics to have in order to be successful in this big...
There you go.
That's a great question.
I have it. Yeah. Honestly, it's this: having no expectations, because what brings disappointment? Your own expectations, right? We've all heard of this. Okay. In this industry, there's an artist who launched their career with one alias and they did everything with just, I tried, I'm really trying hard on all this stuff. And they may see some success, or they may not, but it's when the artist goes, you know what, I'm going to launch this other alias. I'm just going to do it for fun with no expectations and just have fun with it. That's the alias that eventually takes off and stuff. And I feel like as we approach this entire journey, what's the mindset is to don't trick yourself. And the best way to not trick yourself is to not have expectations. Now, it's not to say to not set goals, but really understand that it's okay. Fall in love with the work and the process, the 1,000 hours, the 10,000 hours, really understanding that, because if you don't put your mind into that, then you're going to have expectations. Your goals are going to lead you to, well, I'm not at this place in my career at this age. And that's the biggest downfall for everyone in this industry. And this is not just for artists, it's for promoters, industry people, is when you feel like you're too old for your goals and dreams, or that there's a timeline in life, or that there are people close to you, your spouse, husband, etc., putting some pressure on you. It's where things really screw up. And I think it all comes down to just expectations.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I say something very similar to my students. And I always say, your best music you're going to make when you're having fun. And I think that should be the approach when you get to Ableton. I said, for the same reason why you turn on your PlayStation or watch your TV show is the same reason why you should be getting on Ableton. Don't look at it as work. You're coming in here and you're having fun, and always just have fun. That's it. And when you do that, you're gonna make stuff that's not cookie cutter. You're gonna make stuff that's unique, that's true to you, and you're gonna have no expectations because you're doing it for fun. And I always something that I felt like, it's weird because it's like the opposite of what they tell you on those Instagram motivational videos where they're always like, imagine where you're gonna be, envision it. And for me, when I envision where I'm going to be, it doesn't happen. And the second I stop envisioning it and I just do it just to do it, I get everywhere I want to be. And that's always been the truth for me, at least. So that's what I always tell my students is just make music because you want to make music. That's it. And if you keep doing it for that reason and you're doing it because you're passionate, you will go where you want to go. Another quick thing that I tell my students too that I find super weird is when I make music for a label I want to get on, they don't sign any of it. And they end up signing the songs that I didn't make for the label. Because when I'm making a song for the label, I'm too focused. I'm not making music I make. I'm saying, okay, they like this, they like arpeggiator.
Exactly, you're overthinking, overanalyzing, and how is that even fun to writing music like that? So
exactly. And then by doing it for you, I have a song called "For Me," and that's what it's about. The words, it's me talking. I'm just saying I do this for me. That's the whole song's about. So I don't do it for my friends. I don't do it for family. I don't do it for the industry. I don't do it for anyone. I do it for me. And then and that's the point. And if you do it for you and you remember that you're making music for you, I really think you're going to go as far as you want to go.
Yep. And I'd like to go ahead and add that when you have no expectations going through it, that's when you actually have the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how it just, right? Having fun means actually not really expecting or demanding something back. Like I'm making this music because I need something back. Mm-hmm. And I think, having that foundation as your mindset, it's where it becomes not fun. And while it's important to have goals, it's also more important to have fun, because why do most people quit in this industry? It's because this thing no longer serves them, because it's no longer fun. All right, gentlemen, I think that's been a pretty good 1 hour session. Do apologize for the blanks and the little glitches here and there, but it is our first time doing this. And we hope to be doing more of these Zoom calls, hopefully with our students, both on the ArtistMap camp and the faculty of electronic music. Gino, is there anything else you want to add? And Kevin, is there anything else you want to add?
No, just that I'm really excited about the partnership. And like I said, man, I've heard about 6 a.m. long before I ever even met you guys. So it's a big honor for me. So I'm really
well, you manifested it, bro. I think you envisioned all
I hope so.
He did envision it. He did.
Yeah, I did envision it. Exactly. I didn't expect it to happen. I was like, it never happened. And that's how it happened.
Right. Kevin, do you have any final words for your ArtistMap members, our ArtistMap members? I know you've been emailing them a lot.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Well, first off, just to thank you guys for all your wisdom and your time and whatnot. And as far as the ArtistMap members, it's just like Gia and both Gino say, like, the important thing is to have fun. We're here for everyone. We're here as a community, and we want to help each other, have fun in this industry. Obviously, it's a very daunting thing, but if we have fun, then we're going to keep going. So,
yep. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Please feel free to subscribe. We're going to drop all the links in the description so you can follow Atroxx. You can follow his school, as well as where you can find Kevin and myself and the entire ArtistMap program. So hopefully this will be the first of many that we do. All right.
Yeah. And follow our socials to get updates on our partnerships soon to come, and follow through,
Yep, absolutely. All right, gentlemen, we'll end this session and stay in touch. Right.
Thank you. Bye.